Hi everyone, I wanted to show you the pond in my mum's garden. To get to it you have to follow the toadstool fairy lights along the path. They light up in the evening. It's just a small pond, but there's somebody living inside it. Can you see him? Who's that poking his head out? It's a frog. Hello, Mr. Frog. Seems to be quite happy there, next to the water fountain. There's usually some other frogs, but I think they're all hiding underneath this grass. But this guy seems quite happy, hanging out in the middle of the pond. Now the fountain, it's not very powerful at the moment, it's powered by the sun. So there are these solar panels up here, one's for the fairy lights and one's for the fountain. And when the sun shines on them, it powers the water fountain and it powers the fairy lights through those wires down there. The sun's not shining that much at the moment. That's why the water fountain is a little weak. It's only sending out a bit of water. But the frog seems to quite like it splashing on him. Perhaps it reminds him of the rain. In the very early morning and in the evenings you can hear the frogs croaking. And they do that to try and find another frog to have baby frogs with. Oh, you can see the water fountain's getting a bit stronger now the sun's come out. At the moment there's only male frogs, so there's only daddy frogs in the pond. And they're waiting for a female, a mummy frog, to come to make some frog spawn, so they can have some little tadpoles. Okay, let's have a look at a book. As we were just looking at the frog in my mother's pond, I thought we might have a quick look at this wildlife book that I used to read when I was a child, because it's got a page all about the animals you can find around lakes and ponds. Let's have a look at the big picture. How many different animals can you see here? And do you know some of their names? Parents, you could pause the video here for a moment if your children want longer to look. But I'm going to start going through them now. So who have we got here? That's right, it's a butterfly. This butterfly is called the Red Admiral. And who's this flying insect? He's got 4 wings and a long body. That's right, it's a dragonfly. Who's that bird far away there? He's got long legs and a long neck, a long beak. That's a heron. There's a bigger picture of him down here. And I think most of you know these birds. That's right, they're swans. Now, does anybody know the name of this fish? He's got a long body and very sharp teeth. There's another one down here hiding in the reeds. That's a pike. And who have we got over here at the water's edge? He's got a long tail. He's happy on land and in water. That's an otter. And who's this very colourful bird? He's diving into the water to catch a fish. That is the kingfisher. And here's another water bird. He's got a red beak with a yellow tip, and he likes to build his nest there in the reeds. That bird is the moorhen. There's another little bird up here. He builds his nest in the reeds as well, but not at the bottom. He likes to build them a bit higher up. That bird is called a reed bunting. There he is down there. Let's do some of these bugs. This bug is quite interesting. See, he goes along the top of the water. He doesn't sink. And for that reason we call him a pond skater, because he skates on the top of the water. There's another bug. You might recognise that. It's a beetle. It lives in the pond, so we call it a water beetle. Who's that next to him? Looks like a lizard, but this is actually a newt. And they spend more time in water. There's another fish here. What freshwater fish is this? This fish is called a perch. Now, have we missed any? There's a small insect here on the reed. Now this flying insect, if it gives you a bite, it doesn't hurt, but it might be very itchy. That's a mosquito. And who are these little guys on the shore there? They look a bit like mice, but they're a bit bigger, and they're happy in the water. That's called a water vole. Now, have I forgotten anybody? Who's this down here? Catching a fly with his long tongue. That's right, it's a frog. Just like the one you saw in my mother's pond. Well, I hope you enjoyed that book. There's lots of other pages to it, and we can look at some of them on another day. Okay, bye bye.